Alright, here is our new loft hatch. It's not completely finished yet, but I just want to show you a few things. First of all, the ladder that I've chosen is a compact one, so you can see how I've done it all. So you can see, use this idea to do it for yourself. The way to open it would be quite simple, just literally pulling this down here, really hard, and that's the ladder that's up there. Now you can see the ladder is one of those cantilever one, I think they're called or something, but they're literally pulled down. Just to show you how it works. It's quite simply just grabbing this bit here, pulling it down. Careful not to hold on to this part here, because that will just slide out from the top. So you got to be careful how you do it. So it just literally comes down like this, and the next bit to do is literally just lift up, as I'm doing it with one hand, and pulling it down all the way to the ground. So the house is still being decorated here. So this is our ladder, and it's quite easy to go up there. You can see the steps are quite, it's got the rubber ones on it. Now I could have got one from B&Q, which would have had the metal pieces here, would have been just the metal without the rubber to give you the grip. Now a few things you need to know about this is basically how I did it all. So normal loft hatch, well, as you can see just about there, it comes from the top and it lies on top of this bit here. So what I did, I kept the original frame, as you can see all the way around, and I took the last one off, which I need to finish up properly. And then I had to, because my joists weren't big enough, I had to put a little timber on the top, and I screwed the 4 large screws all the way to the main timber to make it secure. The next bit I had to do is basically getting it up there and putting it on. Now that I needed an extra few people to do this because it's quite heavy to lift up. Leave it in a compact position first of all, and I used some ropes from the top to tie it down and to give it a sort of hold it up. The trick that I use to keep it up there is quite simple. So you don't have to use you've only got 2 hands to drill with. So I put some screws right there, as you can see where it is, right there, one there and one on the other side. So I just laid this piece of wood on top of it so it stays in one place, and you can keep it level as well to where you want it, and that does it. And then at the end I literally just screwed it on. As you can see, all the screws are on there, quite a few of those all the way around, and that makes the whole thing work. So let's close this down and I'll show you how I made the hatch as well, and how it can be done for yourself. So loft hatches, so you literally just lift up from here with one hand, goes up, you can see it goes up like this, and you literally just hook it onto this bit there. Do not pull again onto this bit here. Try to get your hand underneath if you can, and it just closes down like that, and that's it, it's done. So a few things to notice. I wanted my left hatch to open from underneath like I've done so here, not from the top, otherwise you can't really use the ladder. One more thing to bear in mind, that what sort of hinges do you use? Now I went to the B&Q and Wix as well looking for the hinges. I could have used the normal door hinges, but that makes it more complicated how you put it on, because the hinges are too small, and I've got plasterboard there, so when the hinge comes on here I can't really put it onto the plasterboard at all. So I had to use a cupboard hinge, which worked so much better, I must say. So I recommend getting one of these hinges for yourself, or for any sort of door opening that you need to use. So I took the end bit off, as you can see there, and after I got this cut, this piece was, luckily for me, I didn't have to buy this piece of wood. I think it's about 12 mil, maybe, I think 9 mil square, it's about 12 mil this one. I got it from B&Q, they had an off cut, which I didn't have to buy, and they literally just cut it for me the size that I wanted. So after I put the hinges on, the ladder itself came with these hooks that connects to the top bit there, as you can see. I bought some extra ones as well to give it a bit more stability. As you can see, they're from Wix, they're about £2, and you'll see up there as well, I connected those up. So first thing I did, I had somebody underneath. After I put the hinges on, I put it up to the top, and I held it in the place from underneath. So it's held from underneath, and at the top I literally just put those clips on, and that holds it there. Luckily I had one of these spare from somewhere, and I just used that for my hooks to bring it down, and it just comes down. One thing I will say is that these hooks that came with it were so much better than the small one I got, because when I put these on, the whole thing sort of just stays up for a minute, and if any sort of wind only blows or when you touch it, it literally just comes down and falls off. So once it's up there and you've got the hooks on, you can put the side panels on. There, you can see I just screwed a couple of them on there, and I got this cut as well from B&Q, the size that I wanted. And I just put that on, and at the end, it just literally closes perfectly fine. So when you have it in a closed position, it's easy to put those edge biddings on, so you don't see any gaps and stops any air or hot air rising up into it. And the last thing you've got to do is basically finish off the trimming and stuff like that, which is quite easy to do. You can do in your own preferences. A few things to say about the ladder itself. After I bought this, I mean, it's brilliant. It's quite heavy to put on, I must say. So, but it's, once it's done, it's brilliant the way it works. I love it. You could have gone for this will cost me $179.99, and I got it from Amazon. They sell it in their own shop as well. I'll show you the box and the name for it. I'll put it on the description. But there is a one size wider. I should have gone for the one side wider. This one is one side, also 200 and something pound. I can't remember exactly. Probably been worth it. It would give you a bit more steps, wider steps to step up. Now, having said that, I think the small one works perfectly fine. There isn't any issues with that at all. Have a quick look around to see how I've done on the edges as well, just to make sure you can do the same way. So this is a conversion from a loft hatch that literally opens from upward from the inside the loft into a hatch that you can open from down here, which makes so much sense. The few things that this ladder comes with, once I said already to you, the hooks that hooks onto the hatch, this came with it, and I'll show you exactly in the box what came, then you can see it for yourself. So the hatch with the ladder comes with one of these hooks, which I did not put on. I just kept to the one that I have already. I thought the metal one was better. This might break, but it still seems quite strong. So it comes with this. I'll show you on my little stool here what came with it. So this is the packet that comes with. You've got the pull hook that I need to put onto a stick, and these are the hinges that originally I did buy some as well, thinking it's not going to come with the ladder, but they actually came with it, which would have been okay. But just to show you, this hinge, if I was to put onto any of these here, you can see right there, it will go onto the plasterboard, which is not the wisest place to put it. It needs to be on the joist itself. So this is why I went with this particular hinge system, which works so much better, and it was easier to put on as well. And you can adjust the height because of the way the screws are laid out there. You can just about see it. Maybe you can adjust the height of it slightly, which I had to do because it was a bit low down than the plasterboard. I literally pulled it up a bit and it worked so fine. So the stuff that comes with it, basically those hinges I showed you here, and the few screws as well, which I did not get to use at all. But this is it. So overall, now that it's finished, I'll say that it's a perfect thing to buy for your loft without having to get the ladder that goes into it. It takes less space. Only thing you can't do is if the ladder is up there, you can't bring things down. If you're already up there, you have to have the ladder down all the time. You can't get rid of the ladder from the hatch itself. Just something to bear in mind. The hook that I put on there, when you go up the ladder, just careful it doesn't hit your back, because depending on the angle that you keep the ladder as well, make sure it's the right angle in the perfect way, so when you get up there, you don't hit your back on there, because I did hit myself once after that. Once you've done it, you remember all the time. So just to close it, you literally just pull this up, and with the smaller hooks that I had there before, they didn't really do the job well, but with the bigger one, it works so well. So if I show you now, it doesn't go up easily. You really have to, you can tell by the noise. And also, because there's some gaps in the front, which I will cover up from inside as well, I put this little rubber thing that you can buy from eBay and stuff, which sort of seals it in place so the air doesn't go out straight away, or you don't lose the heat from the room or you're in your house. Just to show you the box in a second. So what sort of box it came in, the ladder itself. I'll do that right now. But just before that, just want to show you that the end bit I haven't finished yet. I've got to paint it and decorate it and get it to look nice. So let me show you the box, what the box that ladder came in. So the box they came in is in this box, just to show you the front cover of it. It came with the picture. It's from a company called BPS, and I'm sure there are other solutions to this as well, but you'll see from there the picture how the ladder works. But I think that's the older model on the picture, but the new one is much better, I must say. And the hinges made it so much better as well. So you can see the full details on there. I've got telephone numbers on there if you want to contact them. It came within, I think, 3 days or so after ordering from Amazon. The box is very small. My children's been playing with it, so you can see the box is very small, and literally the ladder is inside, tied up in one of those cable sort of tying thing, and that's it. So this is the company that I got it from. So thank you for watching. Hopefully this has helped to give you some ideas, and if there's any more DIY stuff, I know this one I could not show you while I was making it because it's hard to do that while you're videoing. So thank you for watching and take care.